Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great, and in this video we are going to be talking about another new feature that was introduced in SwiftUI 3, and this one is searchable modifier. Okay, so so like I said, another awesome feature that was introduced in iOS for iOS 15 plus and SwiftUI 3 is searchable. And like the name suggests, this modifier is used to add search functionality to your views, and you're gonna love the effortless way of adding search bar to your apps. So one note, I want to remind you that this modifier is only available for iOS 15 and above, so you'll need Xcode 13. Now Xcode 13 as of September 20th is available to download from the App Store. So you simply have to go to App Store and download Xcode 13 or upgrade yourself with Xcode 13. So anything above Xcode 13 will work for iOS 15 plus target. All right, so you can do that, or you can put your feature behind hash available iOS 15 check. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the definition first. So I'm gonna create a navigation view really quickly. I'm gonna put a text in here. And we're gonna add a modifier called searchable. All right, so we are not interested in this, so I'm simply gonna just put a constant here. We're gonna go over in more detail, like what to put in here, but I just want to show you the definition first. So let's go ahead and check out the definition for searchable. All right, so there you go. So you have a public function searchable. It takes a text which has a binding string. Basically the text is to display and edit the search in the search field. So basically this is going to be a binding field. You're going to have a state variable backing this, and whatever you're going to type is going to be stored in that state variable. Next parameter is your placement. Now placement is basically a preferred placement for the search field within the containing view hierarchy, and the placement actually supports a few different types. So there are 4 predefined values. The default is automatic, but if you go into, I don't know if you can go further into the definition, but yeah, so there are 4. Let me talk about those. So there's one called navigation bar drawer. So it's basically shown, the search box itself is shown inside the navigation bar drawer. And then you have sidebar is another one. So basically when you have iPad or something, and you have a sidebar, and then you have a detail view, sidebar is gonna have the search field, and then you have the toolbar where the search field is placed inside the toolbar. All right, so once we know what the searchable definition looks like, let me see if I can go back actually there. I thought there's has to be something in the comment area. Yeah, not really. Okay, I was hoping for to find a placement, but anyways, prompt is the last parameter. By default it's nil, but this actually is a way to represent the placeholder text for your searchable. So by default, if you don't put anything, it just is gonna show search as the hint for that field. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and put together a simple example. And in this example, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add a searchable modifier and see how it gives us the values back. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the navigation view as is. I'm gonna create a state variable, that's search query. Okay, and then you're gonna have navigation view. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a v stack inside this, and I'm gonna put a text and another text, right, which is gonna reference the value of search query. Okay, and this guy right here, we're gonna change that into search query, and we can also we don't have to place it directly to the navigation view. We can actually put the direct view inside the navigation view, and we can have our navigation title searchable. There we go. Okay, so if I run this, what we should see is a search bar. So as you can see, with this searchable, we actually get the search bar just by adding this one single line. I mean, two lines technically, one to store the search keyword or search value, and then you have your navigation title, and we are reading whatever is being typed in the search query. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that, and notice this area right here and how it's gonna get populated. So like that. So as you see, as we type, we are getting our search queries back, and we can cancel out from the search. Okay, so so this is how our, like, our basic search looks like, and this is awesome for the amount of the code that we had to write, but this example is not very useful, so let's make it more useful. So lists are perfect candidate for search bar, and as the list grow in size, so does the need for search of an item in the list. So we'll do just that. All right, so for this, we're gonna imagine that we have an app that lists courses from DevTechie, and app's home view lists the courses from DevTechie, but it's a long list. So if you're looking for something specific, you'll have to search the entire list. So we're gonna make that easy by providing a search capability. So we're gonna add a search bar on the top. But for that, we have to do some background work. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is first, we're going to create a course model. Okay, so this is what our course model is going to look like. And I'm going to use the same file just to keep everything in single file, but you can actually divide this into like multiple files. So we're going to create a struct course. This is going to be identifiable, so we're going to need an ID. We're going to need a name for the course. We're going to need author and chapters. All right, so these are going to be few properties that we're going to be supporting, and the course model will once again conform to the identifiable protocol. So we'll have the ID, which is going to be initialized by UUID. Now we need some data to work with, so let's put some data from the courses, from DevTechie courses, into a static variable inside an extension for our course struct. Okay, so I'm gonna say extension course, and we're gonna create a static var sample courses, which is going to be an array of course. Okay, and this is going to return an array of course. All right, so I have some predefined list of courses, so I'm going to just paste it I'll try to paste it. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna select everything, press Control I to format our code. So there we go. We have some sample courses that we're gonna use inside our program. Now let's create a list. Okay, so we're gonna create course home. All right, we're gonna create our body variable or computed property. Gonna have a navigation view, and inside the navigation view we're gonna have a list course dot sample courses, which is gonna give us the access to a course. Okay, and we are simply going to display that. So we're gonna have a vstack. All right, inside the vstack we're gonna have a text for course.name. Let's make this bold and give it a font of title 3. All right, for this vstack I want to set the alignment to be leading and spacing to be 20 points. We're gonna have another element here, hstack, which is gonna have a text, and we're gonna display our chapters here. So chapters, okay, so we're gonna get the count here. We're gonna have a spacer, and then we're gonna have a text with author name. All right, and we're gonna add some padding to this guy. We're gonna also hide our list separator. So this is another new property that was introduced in SwiftUI 3. I'm gonna reformat everything, and then we're gonna have a background. The background is gonna be a rounded rectangle with corner radius of 10 points and fill color to be maybe blue. Okay, let's give it a foreground color to be white, and we're gonna give it a list style as plain list style, and for the navigation title we're gonna say dev techie courses, like so. Okay, so let's go ahead and instead of calling this guy, I'm gonna delete that and call course home, and go ahead and run this. All right, so this is the list that we have. These are items that are in the list. Okay, as you can see, there are like a whole bunch of them, and if you're looking for something specific, for example, I'm looking for machine learning, and I have to actually go through and find one in the list, but it's rather hard. Like, if this list grows, it's going to be even harder to find what I'm looking for. So the best way to do this is basically just by providing a search capability. Okay, so now when we have our list, let's make search bar by adding searchable modifier. So let's update course home. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a state variable, search query. Okay, so that's one modification. Then we're gonna go down to our navigation, and all right, this time I'm gonna put it here. So searchable search query. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you put it at the navigation view or the child element to the navigation view. It's gonna be same. It's still gonna work. Okay, so all right, where is our search bar. Well, the automatic way of including search bar is including in the navigation drawer. It only appears when you pull down, okay? But if you're scrolling, it's not going to be visible. Well, that's that's good. Let's go ahead and tap on this, and now we have a search capability. So our search bar looks awesome, but doesn't do much. We can change that by refactoring our code a bit. So we're gonna make one more update, but as you can see, there's nothing it can do right now. So let's go back, and what we want to do is introduce another computer property, filtered courses. So filtered courses is going to be an array of course, and it's going to be a computed property, and we're going to say if the search query is empty, in that case just return course.sample courses. So return all the courses when there's nothing in the search query. Okay, that's going to be the default case. But if there is something in the search query, we want to take the courses. You're going to get the sample courses from there, put a filter on them. Okay, and the filter is going to be on. Take first element's name, which is our course.name, lowercase that. Okay, or we can actually short circuit this by saying localized case insensitive contain. Okay, and you can say search query dot localize lowercase. Right, so that what that'll do is it'll look in the name, and it'll say does it contain anything that's being typed inside the search query or not. Now for our course, we are referencing directly the course list. We're going to change that to be filtered courses. Okay, with that change, let's go ahead and run this, and we're going to once again pull down to make our search appear, and we're going to type SwiftUI is there are too many courses for SwiftUI, so let's search for machine learning. Okay, so there we go, our list is being filtered. UI kit, we have UI kit, let's say combine. Yeah, okay, there are a few cases for combine. Okay, and Lottie, David. Okay, map kit, there is. Okay, so as you can see, our search is working really good, right? So in the above code, this code right here, what we have done is we have basically created a computed, this guy right here is a computed variable which returns the course based on the search string. Okay, and then we are actually acting and the result on those results. So when there's nothing in the search string, all the courses are being displayed, but there's something in the course, in the search query, then it's being filtered out. Okay, so this is basically a basic form of search bar, right? Basic form that actually works quite well. Now let's talk about the placement. If you remember, like so far, whenever we come to the page, we don't see a search, so it's not obvious if we provide a search capability or not. This is a useful pattern. This is like a known pattern where you pull down and search actually appears in navigation drawer. But what if you want to place this in a certain way, right? So so far we have seen basically how to use searchable with default placement value, which is automatic, and system decides where the search bar can be placed, and you can change that by adding a placement parameter. So in our example, we're gonna make it always. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our searchable, and we're gonna say placement is going to be navigation drawer display mode always. Okay, so we always want to show our search bar, and there we go, we always have it, and you know, when we pull down, it's still gonna be there. The search functionality is still gonna be same, okay, but your search is not disappearing. Your search box is not disappearing anymore. All right, it has its own place. So I would recommend trying this value out for various different use cases. Try it out on iPad and stuff and see how that looks. Okay, so there are, like, you know, 4 values I described, but if you go inside the display mode, let's see if I can jump the definition. There we go. So navigation drawer, display mode, and the other one is bound to be here, right here. Search field placement. So you have automatic, which is default. You have toolbar, which is when the search is being displayed in the toolbar. You have sidebar. You have a navigation drawer. You have navigation drawer with parameters, like, you know, when you want to provide where in the navigation drawer you want to show that. And then navigation bar drawer display mode has 2 values, automatic and always. Okay, all right, so if you notice right now our search reads search. Okay, and if you remember, there was one more parameter that you can actually pass inside this this modifier, and that one is prompt. So that's used if you want to customize your search bar prompt. So we're gonna say prompt, and we're gonna basically provide it, like, you know, what user can do here. So search DevTechie courses here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this, and what we should see are custom prompt instead of, like, you know, just search. So user knows what the intent for this search bar is now. Okay, and this works just like any other placeholder. As soon as you type, it goes away, and as soon as you have it empty, it actually comes back. All right, there's one more feature that actually we can talk about, and that one is search completion. So you can actually provide a search completion capability inside your search bar. So Searchable actually comes with a completion capability, and this could be another list of items, maybe list of past searches that user has done, or it can come from your model. So what we're going to do first is we'll use top 3 items from our filtered course list to show the suggestion. Okay, so we're going to add there's going to be a completion area here, like, you know, within the searchable there's a completion block, and we're going to say for each. All right, and we're going to go into filtered courses, and we're going to say prefix that with 3 items. Okay, ID them by ID. It's a key path, so ID, and then we get the access to a course. All right, and this course, we're gonna display a text here, course.name, and we're gonna have search completion, and we're gonna say search completion is gonna put course name in place as well. So let's go ahead and try this out. So I'm gonna once again go, and there we go. We have top 3 coming from the filtered list. If I select one, it actually auto-completes and filters the item for me. So as soon as I take it out, I actually get that. All right, so you can, so this is a perfect example where you can actually provide a completion based on the search history. Now, this does not mean that you cannot search. You can still search, right? Your user can still search based on their own key string, but they have some suggestions. So this suggestion is useful when you want to show, like, you know, search suggestions based on their history. So this value can be dynamic, fetched from user's profile to populate their previous search keywords. Now how can we mimic that example? Well, we're going to create a variable saved searches. This is going to be a string. We're going to return SwiftUI, machine learning, and combine in this list. Okay, and all we need to do now is, instead of selecting it from filtered course dot prefix, we're gonna say saved, look for saved searches. Okay, we're gonna ID this by self because this is hashable. It's a collection of strings are hashable, so for each is going to be happy, iterating over hashable values. And for the text, we're going to show the search. For the completion is basically what we want to when user selects that, what we want to display, right? So that's actually, we want to display that search. So as soon as you select, there we go, you have SwiftUI, and you enter, you can actually do that. So that's actually good, but there's one bug here. So if you select one, your user can get into a loop where if they don't realize they have to press enter, they're gonna just keep on selecting these things. So let's go ahead and fix that by adding something here. So whenever we have saved search, we want to basically filter that with the value that we have in the search query. So we're going to take our search query, we're going to compare if our saved search contains that. Okay, and rest everything else stays same. So let's go ahead and display whenever a user is typing. We only want to display that. All right, so now we are actually providing a better way of adding a search completion. So whenever they start typing, we actually show them, hey, this is SwiftUI you're trying to type, or machine learning, or combine you're trying to type, right? And as soon as they select, their course is displayed. Now search completion can be customized as well. So we're going to add a section view inside the search completion block and move the for each inside that section to show it in a little bit more structured way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go in this section right here. Okay, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to put a section here with header, top searches. Okay, I'm gonna make this bold, and then we're gonna put our for each inside. So let's go ahead and run this, and what we should see is, as soon as user starts to type, we say, okay, this is where your top searches are gonna appear, and like so they are. Okay, and you can actually display that list. Okay, now we don't have to use text. We've been using text here, right? But we don't have to use text. This can work with any custom type that you want to create, any custom view that you want to create. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put a label instead. Okay, and we're going to have a text for the label, which is going to be the search, and icon for the label. This is going to be an image coming from system called magnifying glass. Okay, and for search completion, we're gonna take the search. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this again, and now we're gonna say, as you can see, as soon as we type S, we have a magnifying glass and the text, and we can search and we get our results back. All right, so this was the video about SwiftUI 3.0's new feature for search capability. Hopefully you liked the video, and thanks again for watching.